Hello there, and welcome to Agna Academy and to today's episode of 5 Minute Musing. I am so excited to talk to you about out of the box thinking. Now, you might be wondering what does that even mean? So, it is all about looking at problems in a fresh way. No different to a story of a detective solving a mystery from totally different angle. So, let us get started. All right, let's talk about it by using a simple example, a nail puzzle. Everyone has tried one of these. Not sure about you, but for most of us at first, it seems like there is no way to do it. You might try to pull them apart, twist them, or force them in obvious ways, but no result. So, what are the steps that we go through? Trying the obvious solution. This is exactly how we usually approach problems in real life. We try the solutions that seem to be the most straightforward first. But when these obvious moves don't work, frustration sets in, and some people give up. So the next step is realizing that there must be a solution. Here's the thing, the nail puzzle does have a solution. It's just hidden because it's not one of those typical obvious moves. In fact, most puzzles are solved with a small unexpected twist by thinking differently. So the next step is applying out of the box thinking. The puzzle teaches us that sometimes when you are faced with a challenge, you need to pause, take a step back, and consider options that are not immediately clear. Maybe there's a way to solve it that's so simple but you overlooked it, or a path that's totally different from what you thought was a solution when you first started. So let's. So what's the problem we generally face? We're usually stuck or trying to solve it using usual ways, but unable to find solutions. So let's dive into the topic to change how to approach challenges in life, work, or business. Whenever we are stuck with the usual or unable to find solutions, how do we solve problems in new ways? So let's explore three powerful techniques: contrarian thinking, reverse brainstorming, and reverse psychology. So we will get into more detail now. So number one, contrarian thinking is simple. It's about questioning the status quo and asking, what if we do the exact opposite of what's expected? It's not about being contrary for the sake of it, but about challenging assumptions to uncover new possibilities, getting back to basics. Number two, we have all heard of brainstorming, but reverse brainstorming takes it a step further. Instead of asking, how can we solve this problem? You flip it and ask, how could we make this problem worse? I know it sounds counterintuitive, but this technique helps you identify the root causes of a problem, and once you know what's wrong, you can find ways to fix it. Let's get to number three. We've all used reverse psychology in our personal lives, whether we realize it or not. You might have told a friend or family, I bet you can't finish that, knowing it would push them to prove you wrong. When you try to force them, they might resist and do the opposite just out of the natural human reaction to rebel. This is because you want to do something of on your own free will rather than being forced or threatened or shamed into it. So let us understand with some real life examples. Contrarian thinking is when you say, what if we try the exact opposite? So think about Netflix. At first, everyone rented movies from video stores like Blockbuster. But Netflix thought, what if we did the opposite? What if people didn't have to leave their houses and could get movies delivered right to them? That out of the box idea changed the way we all watch movies today. Secondly, take Airbnb for example. For years, the hospitality industry assumed that people preferred hotels for comfort and security, but Airbnb flipped that thinking on its head. They said, what if people would actually enjoy staying in someone else's home? So instead of building new hotels, they built a platform for people to rent out their own spaces. So let's look at an example in reverse brainstorming. So let's say you run a small business and you're struggling to attract customers. So instead of asking, how can I get more customers? Try asking, how can I make sure no one ever buys from me? You might come up with ideas like terrible customer service, outdated products, or poor marketing. So once you've identified those issues, you can focus on improving them. Or you might just ask, how can we make the world's worst pencil? what would it be like? This thought process will help find better solutions. Let's look at reverse psychology. If I told you you could never solve the nail puzzle, what would you do? If you are told not to do something and then you really want to do it even more, isn't it? So remember the time when parents said, don't eat this or don't watch this show. What was the reaction? Rebellious? You know what I mean. We've always gone along and done it a certain way. We've all got some rebels inside us. So finally, so what are the takeaways? We have an answer to how to apply out-of-the-box thinking in real life, whether you're launching a new business, tackling a tough project, or even trying to solve personal challenges. Out-of-the-box thinking can help you stand out. Here are a few tips to get you started on your journey. Challenge assumption. If everyone is doing things one way, ask yourself if the opposite approach might work better. Don't be afraid to zig when others zag. Flip the problem. Next time you're stuck, try reverse brainstorming. Think about how you could make things worse and use that insight to reverse engineer a solution. Thirdly, use psychology. Whether you're persuading a team or attracting customers, think about how reverse psychology could spark curiosity or motivate people to take action. So next time you're up against a problem, remember the nail puzzle. Sometimes the answer isn't in what you expect. It's in the small twist, the different angle, the approach you haven't tried yet. It's a reminder that every problem really does have a solution, but you need to look at it from a fresh perspective. So in conclusion, keep trying, keep thinking creatively, and you'll find that twist that finally makes it all come together. After all, the best entrepreneurs and leaders didn't follow the crowd. They thought differently and challenged the status quo. Thank you very much, and hooroo for now.